The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in New York, the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, he's actually deployed the National Guard to a New York City suburb known as New Rochelle. For those outside of the tri-state area there, I never heard of that. They basically will be have created a 1 mile radius containment zone around this synagogue that they're saying is the epicenter of one of the largest coronavirus outbreaks in the U.S. And what the National Guard will be doing is disinfecting the schools. They're going to set up a center where they can actually test for the coronavirus, as well as they're going to provide food to the people who are being quarantined, including the thousands of students that were forced to remain at home. So it's looked at as like a drastic measure, but a very necessary measure. I mean, it's the largest outbreak right now in the U.S. Green War on Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So former Democratic presidential candidate for 2020 and current Washington State Governor Jay Inslee has actually ordered a ban on gatherings of more than 250 people in Washington State, as there's actually been more outbreaks. The death toll in Washington has actually risen to 25. So far 25 people have died from coronavirus in Washington State. In Kings County, that's where 2 more people have recently died, where that actually sparked this ban in particular. But the New York Times actually released a report that says that the coronavirus actually went around in Washington undetected for weeks, as federal officials had actually rejected a infectious disease expert's plea to actually repurpose a lot of the research that was going towards the flu towards the coronavirus. And then one dude had unilaterally or female unilaterally decided to begin the research. It had already taken out 2 people, and 20 dubs of people had actually been affected already. Green War on Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Massachusetts, actually, we got Governor Charlie Baker. He actually issued a state of emergency due to the fact that 92 cases of the coronavirus are actually going on up there. 70 of the cases linked to this conference that was had last month by a biotech firm company known as Biogen. Also you had in Ohio, both Democratic presidential front runners, Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, they actually canceled their competing rallies that was supposed to go on due to the fact of the coronavirus. At the same time, you got Trump saying the show must go on coming in within these next couple of weeks, even though his advisor saying that people should really avoid all hugely public events. You have 60 schools across the country, 60 colleges doing canceled classes or doing online classes. Tens of thousands of students affected by the closing of public schools. And then you have the NCAA. They're preparing to actually play in front of empty crowds. They talking about the same thing with the NBA and all of that, whatever. But also keep in mind that the federal government is also working on ways to get hundreds of thousands of employees to telecommute, basically go to work from home or through the phone or computer or some shit. You know what I mean? So people really moving on this shit and taking proper precautions. It's what do you expect? You know what I mean? Green War on Graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So Mike Pence and Mike Pompeo actually revealed that the U.S. government would actually have private insurance companies join forces with Medicare and Medicaid to waive all co-payments for anything dealing with the coronavirus. Now, word on the street is that kind of was already the case. Nevertheless, it was announced. It's a good thing. It set people up to get tested and handled properly. Now, check this out. Dr. Anthony Fauci, though, this is the coronavirus task force member, actually reported into the people saying that, it's time to take this very seriously. You know what I'm saying? Be wary of how you're interacting with people, social handshakes and things of that nature. He literally said you can't operate now how you just were a month ago. It's that type of time. So keep in mind that the number of cases have topped 1,000 in the U.S. and the death toll is at 31 from it so far. And that's the only way we can protect. It's a lot of movement in and out of this motherfucker. Green War on Graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report, man. COVID-19, COVID-19, the coronavirus. This shit is rocking the globe right now. You talking about 121,000 confirmed cases worldwide, most of which, though, are in China, with 3,100 deaths from that motherfucker. They still contracting it out there, but the rate has been slowing down. We'll see what that turns into, but it's hitting, you know, in places like Iran. You had 291 deaths from it and 8,000 confirmed cases. In the European Union, there's every country in the EU actually has one confirmed case at least. The hardest hit country has been Italy, that I've been telling y'all about. They have suffered a couple dozen deaths and have the whole country on lockdown. You know, the tens of millions, nationwide lockdown. And the 70,000 prisoners are like actually going to be released temporarily in order to, you know, combat this or whatever. People are calling for political prisoners to be freed as a result of this coronavirus scare. And it's getting serious. And over in the U.S., the head of the CDC for prevention and told lawmakers that like the Trump's border wall is not going to mitigate any threat of the virus or any spread of the virus. You know what I'm saying? Despite what he said. Green Wall on graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So, coronavirus, COVID-19, this shit has actually got the U.S. on edge, as I've been telling y'all. And now there's actually a precaution being taken where the government wants to implement this massive emergency relief package, you know, to the people. And when they were talking about it on Tuesday, Trump and the lawmakers, he actually put out this idea of like a payroll tax cut where $700 billion in revenue that would typically go towards revenue for Social Security. This actually would go towards the payroll tax cut, aimed at like basically, you know, blunting the spread of the coronavirus. Now, economists attacked it, said it was you know, it's going to go towards the people who need it the least, is essentially how it end up happening. And people were working against it, but the Washington Post is reporting that the White House is strongly considering aiding, giving relief towards the oil and gas companies that are losing money from this oil price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia. That has to do with basically Russia getting out of OPEC. Green Wall and graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So, Joe Biden is out here claiming victory already as far as for the Democratic primaries. So far, the votes are in that he's won in Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, as well as in Idaho. So, Sanders is leading in like Washington and North Dakota, but all of the votes aren't in yet. They're still counting. But you know, they put. You know, Biden's already, you know, saying, thanking people on the thank you tour. You know what I mean? Saying he's lit already. Bernie Sanders has to think about whether he should keep going this uphill battle. But that's what's happening on that voting front. You know what I'm saying? Green Wall graduation, yo. We need more third parties in this bitch. For real, for real. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Saudi Arabia, there's actually been a crackdown on senior royal members and top officials as like the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, is actually trying to basically consolidate power in the kingdom. So, so far, 4 prominent members of the royal family have been detained. Green Wall and graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report, man. It's all about the energy. Make sure you check out my mixtape at @still_our grind. You actually will find it on Instagram. It's not on that page of my mixtape. It's actually an Instagram video album. There's a YouTube link there too, where you can just watch the video straight through. 24-minute runtime is straight heat, man. Quality music, you know what I'm saying? Me spazzing on niggas beats and, you know what I'm saying? Just showing niggas how this hip hop shit really go the fuck about, man. It's all about the energy. Make sure you check that out. Follow it on @still_our grind. I'm about to upload something new today too. Now check this out, though. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has actually endorsed a plan that's going to keep him in power until 2036. A plan was already approved by the lower house of Russia's parliament, but it still has to be approved by the Constitutional Court and then a public referendum in April. Now, these are dictator moves, my G. It was already a plan that had him in power till 2024. Green Wall and graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So over in Venezuela, there were protests triggered by Juan Guaido, the opposition leader to Venezuela's current president Nicolas Maduro. Now keep in mind the country has been in a decline, and the U.S. has been supporting and backing this guy Juan Guaido and trying to get him the Nicolas Maduro ousted, but Maduro still is in power. Now they had these protests that were met by security forces throwing tear gas. But Guaido and the protesters were trying to get on the National Assembly, take over, march over there, which is currently controlled by pro-government lawmakers. Now, keep in mind that this is the first time that there's been like a protest like this since he basically toured around the world trying to get support for the ouster of Maduro. Nevertheless, Michelle Bachelet, the United Nations human rights person, actually has said that it's the U.S.'s imposed sanctions on the airline and the oil industries over there that's like really decimating the economy that's already battered and bruised. Green War on graduation.